And we are back with Sly 2 Band of Thieves. We'll be doing the...
Yep.
I just wanted to let Dimitri's bug speak for a second. We're going to be finishing up the second half of Chapter 1 here. Or doing the second half, rather.
Yes.
So we got 3 missions, 2 Sly and 1 Murray.
I'm guessing the big S stands for your safe house.
Yes. There's another type of waypoint that I didn't remember about until about halfway through the game. We'll get to that later.
Hold it, Cooper.
Constable Neela. Another policewoman hot on my tail.
Please, I led you here.
So that
This is a new character for this game, Constable Neela. We briefly saw her in Cairo.
What is she?
She's also for Interpol.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Is
what
she like
animal?
a leopard?
So what?
Not sure. I think she's some kind of cat.
But if I'm going to trust you in this case, I need to know that you can keep up. Literally.
Literally.
Don't fall behind.
So this is our first chasing mission. She has a handy little gold trail, so it's easier to track her, and she will attack anything in her range.
I'm guessing, is that a whip she has?
Yep.
What is it with cat women and whips? I've noticed.
It's like their tail.
Right.
Heads up, if you leave this area, you'll abandon your current job.
So Bentley chimed in there because we got kind of close to the safe house, and if you go back to the safe house or into a sub area during a mission, yeah, you automatically quit it.
Right.
So I seem to remember as a kid the Neela chasing missions gave me a bit of trouble at first, but they're really not hard, especially if you just sort of run and don't flagrantly mess up all the time.
Yeah. It is funny though, I've noticed with some games like eventually I do get what I feel like is kind of movement mastery, but other games not so much. And I feel like I feel you as a kid, like where you want it, you know where you need to go, but you can't get your hands to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like Smash is like that, where I whiff like crazy, despite all my years of playing the game.
Yeah.
This level makes me want to watch Ratatouille again.
Yeah,
And
it's a
also
good
maybe
starter
Emily.
level. Not too vertical, you know. There's basically just the ground and the rooftops and.
Right. So I noticed your indicators flashing there for the
We
health.
should work well together.
So it pulses yellow when you're near an enemy and you have to be kind of stealthy. If you make noise, you'll alert them, and then it starts pulsing red when they've noticed you and you gotta fight your way out.
I'm wondering if the game considers her like an enemy, and that's why it was constantly red.
I mean, she doesn't care about alerting anyone, so she just unlocked our first Bentley mission for us.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense. She's kind of wanton destruction throughout, so.
So right there on the pedestal is our other piece of world loot.
Nice. Oh, don't break the turntables. Those are worth more than that loot. Usually.
We can sell it on ThiefNet for a ton of coins.
So yeah, I think I show me going all the way back to the safe house for this one.
Yeah. Silver chalice. You chose poorly. Nah. I've never actually seen the third Indiana Jones movie, just bits and pieces.
Well, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I know.
Raiders is probably a better movie, but I just love Crusade so much.
Yeah, fair enough. I know it's iconic. I just never happened to see it all the way through. I mostly know the bit from How I Met Your Mother, where they have a whole episode about, I don't know, what was it, trying to choose a date, and I don't know, they had the knight show up. I don't know. It's really stupid.
Poorly.
Yeah, it's really stupid, but it's a great meme. Like, you can use that meme for almost any situation where you have to make a choice.
Yeah, so if you press triangle in midair, you'll do that spiral dive.
Oh.
So yeah, you very much get in the habit of
Gold
pickpocketing guards whenever you see that little glow there, because even with me getting all the world loot, you kind of need every last coin you can get if you want all the upgrades.
I see. You know, I realized we should have gone over this before we started recording, but it's probably unprofessional of me asking this now. But do we like refer to each other as our actual names or channel names here? We didn't really go over that at all.
I don't think it really matters. We can go either way.
Yeah, who gives a damn? But yeah. That poor cat.
So yeah, there's a little trick for opening up ThiefNet there. If you press right on the loading screen, it'll jump straight to the sell loot screen. So I do that almost every time.
Oh, that's handy. I wonder where the stereotype of the striped shirt comes from.
I believe it's French sailors, like a sailor's
that makes
uniform.
sense.
So probably like foreigners, when they see French people, it's often like, you know, sailors in foreign ports. So that's kind of where that association came from.
It's an interesting thought that it's not what the people necessarily wear, like, usually, but it's what the people saw that would see them. It's like, I've never been to France, but when I've seen French people, they've been wearing this, so they all must wear this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I look at Japan's depiction of Americans in anime to varying degrees of success.
I mean, for anything anime related, you do have to remember that it is animation, which by its very like nature tends to exaggerate. So,
right. Which reminds me, one of these days I actually want to sit down and watch Ghost Stories, the English dub. Although, you ever have that feeling when you're watching a series and you know you're like, maybe you're a little over halfway or you're near the end and you're starting to get the dooming feeling of, oh no, we're almost done with this series.
yeah. So back into sub area for this one. This is one of the more like
Sorry, Bentley, but those fans are
very
spinning way too fast to walk off.
straightforward thiefy type missions. You know, you get in, you steal the keys, and then you I don't know, just kind of going into a fancy little area.
Yeah, I do agree with Sly. Those fans are stupidly fast. I don't know if you've ever messed with ceiling fan speeds, but I swear the fastest mode looks like they're dang gonna fall off the ceiling every time you do it.
And this mission also introduces the concept of fragile keys, which are apparently used by literally everyone in this universe. So we have to pickpocket them out of the guards' pockets and not just kill them and knock them out and take them off.
So I'm guessing it's like a fail mission and reset if you break
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
I'm
and
guessing, yeah.
pretty much anytime there's a key, you just assume it's one of these fragile ones.
Yeah, I'm guessing these are what Link has to deal with small keys, since they always broke every time you used them.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's a bad joke. That's a joke everyone makes. Can you balance on the... Oh, well, now you answered my own question. There he goes.
Yeah.
Check 1, check 2. Solid. Dimitri on the mic with a shout out to all my nightclub samurai.
I do like how occasionally they'll have the bad guy jump in with an announcement over the PA, try and give them a little characterization.
Oh,
Since
yeah.
they typically don't show up until the very end.
Yeah. I like that Sly's eyeball and his head aren't perfectly built, so you can actually see through his head. Like, when he
Yeah,
grabs a
that's
key...
PS2 tech for you.
Yeah, when he grabs a key, you'll be able to see it. It looks like a bad green screen effect, almost. These things happen. Honestly, I almost doubt that's an emulator problem. I bet that was there in the original, but it's hard to say.
I'm not sure that apart from some, little skips here and there, I'm not sure I noticed any bad emulator problems while playing through this. It seems pretty accurate to my memory.
Oh, he's like me. I can't fall asleep without white noise.
I do like these little details where they just sort of stick a guard in a location where he's like, he's watching TV or something.
Yeah. Honestly, Night Guard seems like both the most boring and most chill job in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Although, the way, our friend Chris talks about it, it sounds like absolutely, I don't know, ridiculous sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Depends on where you work, I guess.
Yeah. So you saw this flashlight graphic. It can sort of overlap the surroundings because of whatever PS2 era solution they had for that lighting, but it doesn't penetrate through. So.
Mm-hmm.
Nice work, Sly. Now head for the control panel.
That was a good noise.
That was a little emulator glitch there.
But yeah.
What's interesting about this is, the fans are spinning too fast to walk on. At no point do I need to walk on them. You'll see in a second.
Huh. It's kind of funny.
Looks like the fans have stopped. Use them to get on top of the main chandelier and insert that splice clip.
Because, I just jump right here, grab onto the stem,
Yeah.
and I'm good.
I could see them justifying that it would be, too fast and it would just shake the crap out of the stem, but yeah, that's hard to say.
I suppose.
It's game contrivance. What are you gonna do?
That should do it. No more security in the printing press room.
Sometimes after a mission, they'll kick you out of whatever sub-area you're in. I think usually they don't, though.
You said, wait, was this a Bentley mission?
No, this is a Sly mission.
Oh, that's right. You took the world loot and went away from the entrance of that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Sly, you can pickpocket all the guards around the nightclub. Find guys carrying shiny loot in the back of the pocket.
So yeah, just sort of run around and you listen for that little clink clink of the bottles, and you can find all 30 of
Okay.
them without
It's nice
too
that
much
they actually
trouble.
make a noise.
Yeah.
Too many games are like pixel hunting, or at least it
Yeah.
feels like, oh gosh, I have to check everywhere, don't I? Kind of situation.
A pet peeve that I've developed with games over the past several years is games where you have to consult something outside of the game in order to finish it.
Yeah.
You gotta look up a guide, and it's a fan-made guide, so who knows if the information is accurate. And I would very much prefer that games are as self-contained as possible, that you can complete as much of it with the game itself.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of my absolute hatred of when shows will do this sometimes is, oh, we had a time skip, but don't worry, you can go see what happened in the comic. I'm like, gosh, dang it, don't do that to me. Young Justice did that a lot.
Yeah. When I play a video game, I don't want to have to keep constantly consulting my phone to look up information.
Yeah. I'm fine with, additional crap that, isn't, it's flavor. That was a good roundhouse. But
Yeah, that's Murray's equivalent to the slam move.
Roadhouse. Oh, it looks like Luigi's Mansion right there. Oh, kind of.
Okay, Murray.
Chateau Luigi.
We'll tip off Dimitri during our heist. There are 3 of them out here, and I need
Right here,
you
Bentley
to
speaks
take
kind of
them
slow.
out.
It's almost like he's trying to get it
Oh,
across to Murray
it
because
feels-
he's too stupid.
It almost feels kind of condescending, honestly.
Yeah, and he never does it again. It was just that first little line there.
Then throw it at those alarm horns. Good luck, pal. This could get rough.
Evildoers feel my wrath.
His moveset kind of reminds me of Patrick's in the SpongeBob Collectathon games a little bit. Which are excellent if you haven't played 2,
I've
3 of them?
the remaster of Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Okay. I highly recommend, I think the movie game's better than Battle for Bikini Bottom, but that's a very hot take that not a lot of people, well, some people might disagree
Speaking
with.
of hot, right there I showed off one of the upgrades in the game, Murray's Fists of Flame.
Oh.
Assign it to, you can assign your upgrades to L1, L2, or R2, since R1 is the run button.
Is that what the yellow meter is? Is like a special meter?
Yep. If you use your upgrades, then it uses up that meter there, and it's restored with health pickups.
Nice.
And the Fist of Flame, he does an insta-kill on anything he punches one time. Last part, I think I purchased the Smoke Bomb upgrade for Sly, and that is possibly the most overpowered move in the game.
Does it let you pretty much instantly get out of
Escape.
detection mode?
Yep. Just like, you know, the Smoke Pellet in Batman, but, like, I would say that this is even more overpowered, because there's no cooldown. You'd have, like, 3 uses or 4 with how much special meter you have. But yeah, you see me abuse it egregiously throughout this game. Just looking around for something to throw. Fortunately, there's usually something in the worlds that infinitely respawns, like these newspaper dispensers.
You know, you might not think a paper is very heavy, but an entire newspaper, you can kind of just... That thing has a lot of heft, especially if it's tied up.
Yeah.
Especially if it's wet.
I mean, cash is apparently, if you have a lot of it, it is extremely heavy, because that's pretty thick paper.
Makes sense. I mean, it is like cloth, technically, so it makes sense
I think it's
that
like
it's going to
cotton.
be. Like, I bought reams of paper, and it's interesting, just like, wow, this is like maybe 20 pounds of paper.
Sometimes the job complete notifications can be kind of abrupt.
Yeah, that was really kind of weird. Oh gosh, I'm having Sonic Unleashed flashbacks.
At least there's a different fight song for each world.
Thank goodness. Seriously, that was one thing they could have done, and it would have gone a long way to make that game a lot more palatable.
My thought for many years was like, oh, you know, there's a lot of worlds. Can they really make a battle theme for every world? And then I became a Kingdom Hearts fan, and it's like, oh, other games do that all the time.
I mean, they made a song for every level in the day, so why not?
I mean, and at night. So, you know, there's night, day theme, night theme, and then night battle theme.
Yeah, I mean, even if it was the same song but a different instrumentalization, it would have been fine.
Yeah. So, we're playing as Bentley now, at last. Heading off to his first mission. So, as you can imagine, Bentley is significantly weaker than Sly, and especially Murray, so his main deal is his sleep dart launcher there that you can fire with the Binocucoms. Make enemies go to sleep, lay a bomb next to them, and that's his version of the stealth kill.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's funny, seeing the top of Bentley's head like that with the health icon really makes it, I don't know, turtles and birds kind of feel kind of similar to me in some ways. Then again, I guess reptiles and birds are like super related, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible, Bentley. Kick them while they're down. Bentley does have the energy of got bullied in school, is now taking it out on the world energy. Then again, weren't all the characters like bullied?
No, they had, I think they had a pretty okay time in the orphanage they grew up in.
Right, I guess it was just the tragedy of being an orphan.
Yeah.
Press the R3 button. You know, click the right analog
Typically, Sly acts as mission control for Bentley when he's out in the field.
Yes, that's handy.
There's like one time where it's Murray.
I do like that the Binocucons show the objectives. That's kind of handy.
We get more of Dimitri's music here.
Great.
Fine, I'm just fine. I just need to bob all the pillars supporting that disco ball and I can get out of here.
I do like that he starts off very nervous in the field. He drops it pretty quick, but his first time he's obviously got the jitters.
Makes sense. Honestly, I feel like heist games, for as much as you think, just I don't think it's a very saturated genre. At least not like this, anyway.
Although, I am absolutely convinced, totally, that at least someone on the Persona 5 development team played Sly 3 because the openings and, like, the setup are exactly the same.
I just realized, is his crossbow the thing shooting the darts?
Yep.
Makes sense.
So
Yeah,
I actually missed the pillar back there. I'm going to have to get it in a minute.
Oh, no. I do find it funny when, like, different game devs obviously, like, you know, take influence from one another. Cut to the Simpsons movie, the game. No, I guess it wasn't the movie game. It was just the game, but there were so many weird, kind of cringe references in that game. Although I finally found out, I thought that the game lied about a bunch of stuff in the E3 trailers, only to find out I was playing the Wii version, which was severely gimped from the 360 version. Like, it was like almost a completely different game. Ugh.
That was an interesting era, wasn't it? Where we had a lot of games came out with two versions, an HD one on 360 and PS3, and a SD one, I guess you could say, on Wii and PS2, because the PS3 struggled for so many years that the PS2 was able to survive through sheer momentum.
Yeah. PS2, I think, is that still the best-selling console of all time?
Not counting portables, I think so. The DS might have outsold it, to be honest.
I could believe that.
I think people are wondering if the Switch is going to outsell the PS2 before whatever its successor is comes out.
I hope it does.
We'll see.
Oh yeah, speaking of the two versions of things, and back to Sonic Unleashed, that's another game that's kind of like that. Oh, I thought my screen was filthy. No, it's just it's their screen.
Yep, alright, it's time for the heist.
Dimitri sure to send someone out to get the repair truck.
By the way, I just want to point out the sheer ridiculousness of what we were doing in the last mission. We wanted to weaken the peacock sign, so we dropped the disco ball, and that caused it to specifically weaken, but nothing else was significantly damaged.
Yeah, I mean, those definitely look like load-bearing pillars, so...
Was it a load-bearing disco ball?
I guess so. Like one of those crazy Lego tension tables. You know, where it's just like chains.
And we all get the heck out of here.
Thief net.
Yeah.
In a world where everyone's a thief, who can you trust? Okay, that's stupid.
I can never predict which character is the used for the start beacon of the heist. Sometimes it makes no sense. Like you start with one character, go to the beacon, and then you immediately switch to a different one in the mission itself.
Come on, chum. Let's get to that water tower.
For a turtle, he ran pretty good.
So once again, we got Murray here for backup, because this would be miserable otherwise.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm surprised that Bentley can dispatch these guys at all without...
Yeah, I think it takes like twice as many hits as Sly for Bentley.
Jump into my arms.
This throw thing right here is kind of awkward.
Speedball special.
Is it fastball special?
Yes. Gosh dang it. What is that from? I've heard it before.
I don't know where that term came up, but it's pretty much a technical term by this point.
Oh.
Okay,
oh,
so
that was a cool transition.
Yeah, it's like the only time they do it in the entire game.
Oh, this looks This looks like something that would have confused the crap out of me as a kid.
Probably, but fortunately, it's very simple if you know what to do. Just hit every switch one time.
Oh. Kind of reminds me of Superstar Saga a little bit when you're in the basement
Yeah.
of the
It's all
castle.
right. They're already sending
Yeah,
out
fixing the
repair
plumbing, the
fix
one
now.
time in like any Mario game where they do any actual plumbing.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind a Mario game that focused on plumbing more. And by that, I mean like cartoony plumbing, but still, there's a lot you can do with it.
Yeah, you could come up with some fun mechanics. And
Yeah. I mean, this is coming
Silly
from a guy
ideas.
that once unclogged a toilet up to his, like, shoulder, but, yeah, college. Hey, it was either that or lose my deposit, and I'm not going to lose my deposit.
Okay, head back to the fountain to make the exchange.
I'm trying to remember if you can knock that guy out, and if it fails the mission or not.
It's all you.
Let's head out for the repair.
It's always interesting to see weird edge cases in games that they may not have thought of that, like, screw things up real bad.
Mm-hmm. I could probably just let Murray take care of this guy, but eh. So as you can see, Bentley is also capable of crawling under like tables, but
Yeah.
Murray is not.
He's also capable of team damaging Murray.
I'll take the
He was flashing red there, and I think it came from that explosion.
Yeah, I think they flash like that, but I don't think it does any actual damage to them.
Right.
I think Murray's invincible for this. This is nice where it you know, cuts back and shows what Sly is doing at the same time.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I like that. I wish more games did that, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what could be fun, but probably a little convoluted, is a game like this, but it's like 3-player co-op. But at the same time, like, that would just basically mean the same thing as this, but you'd be able to do it quicker.
Yeah.
Coming up right now. Get ready to grab the tow harpoon.
So there's no real
Be sure
trick
to
to
grab
this.
it with your body, Slide. No.
There's no real trick to this. You just sort of have to shoot it, and
Let's
it's
see.
trial and error.
The guards are on to us. Protect the truck.
This might have been the first time I ever did this part without ever having the truck get hit.
Sorry, what was that?
This attempt right here, I think this is the first time I've ever played this game where I never let the truck get hit at all.
Oh, nice. These rats
They're-
remind me of the Fantastic Mr. Fox. You ever seen that movie?
Twice.
Oh, nice. Actually, they kind of sound like Donald Duck.
I would do a Donald Duck impression, but I am not capable of such a thing.
Yeah, I can't either. My brother can, which he usually does to say expletives. But to be fair, if Disney wasn't kid-friendly, Donald Duck would absolutely be cursing like the sailor that he canonically and legally is.
Majesty of gravity and inertia.
That was real subtle, Bentley.
Okay, you jump in, grab the clockwork tail feathers, and we're out of here.
Remind me why we need... Oh, right, the basement.
Yeah.
It's in the basement. I don't have a basement. You do now. That line's too good for Winnie the Pooh. Nah, no, it's not, but it's still good.
We get some excellent lines from Dimitri here.
Listen to me.
Birds and bees be free.
Playing with. It'll bring more than your house down.
I think he canonically, I may have mentioned this in the last part, he canonically learned English from watching American hip-hop videos.
That's pretty good. You know, honestly, I feel like this story's kind of flawed because, you know, they don't want the clockwork pieces to ever, you know, fall into the wrong hands together. So keeping them separate like this might actually be for the best.
No deal. You and the rest of the Claw gang
He
have to be stopped.
maybe, but he has
Never
no
again
control
see the
over
light
what
of
may
day.
happen in the
Just
future.
hand over the tail
They
feathers
may
to me.
That's
want, they may have them using them in separate capacities now, but who knows what'll happen even.
Right, because they're part of a gang, so
Yeah.
whoever's in charge, or maybe they might just decide to unite them anyway.
Yeah. Or just one person buys all the others from the rest.
Right.
And your suit sucks.
Ha!
Let's dance!
So this boss was quite challenging. First time I played it as a kid.
Whoa! I can't believe
Yeah,
that
he's
startled me.
he's got a sick ring there. But it's pretty simple. You just hide behind those vats.
Yeah.
He fires 3 times. The 4th, his ring explodes, and that's your chance to rush him.
If he doesn't turn invisible, I'm gonna be disappointed in tropes.
I don't think he's a chameleon.
Oh,
he's
is he
just
just
a
kind of
lizard.
like a lounge lizard?
Yeah, that's the pun with him being a lizard.
Nice. That reminds me, with the Gex remake coming out, I might finally play through those.
Oh, how weird is it that Gex is coming back?
Yeah, and yet we still don't have Wind Waker or Twilight Princess on the Switch.
No, we do not.
Sad day. I'm hoping that happens, like, is at least announced this year. We'll see. I mean, that direct we got was pretty chunky. So, they wouldn't give us another one till, like, next year probably, right?
I think after the summer one, they typically have a September one.
Okay. I'll be surprised if they have much as anything to say. Whoop.
So right there, Sly did the charge attack, which I completely forgot about and don't really use at all until much later.
Nice.
So that was a new thing added in this game.
I'm doing you a favor. What kind of thief prints money? There's no honor in that.
You crackerbox!
You can't call him that now. That's a very weird pose.
I mean, you think about it, those tail feathers have got to be huge.
Oh, yeah.
And
My
then
gang and I had done it.
they're actually not so
Clockwork
huge,
tail
and they're
feathers were
also
ours,
gold.
and Dimitri's
What the heck?
counterfeiting operation was
I can
ruined.
only imagine that they made this cutscene early in
Yeah.
development.
Ludo narrative dissonance be like.
Although, on the other hand, like, if that was supposed to be the Clockwork parts, we already knew what Clockwork looked like in the first game, and he was huge and, like,
Shutting down the nightclub
gray,
and throwing a
metallic,
frustrated forger
not
behind
gold.
bars.
Oh. He ain't so pretty now.
The gang and I headed out of town for a week in Monaco. Bentley wanted to try out his new card counting formula, and I figured the team had earned themselves a well-deserved break.
Alright, so that is the end of Chapter 1 of Sly 2. So, join us next time when we begin Chapter 2.
In India?
I believe so, yes.
Nice.